Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? EXO coming at you here, feeling real good. We have got some stuff to share with you. Since our last video about the big behemoth build, we have got some development. So let's go ahead and talk to you about what we have done in the meantime. Thanks to you guys, we got some great feedback on YouTube about the 3-inch lift kit. We have the NV3500 from Nissan. It's a huge vehicle. A lot of people thought that increasing the ride height would kind of compromise the handling and safety. More people were saying don't do the lift than the people that were gung-ho for the aesthetics. So I'm thinking real strongly that I am not gonna do the lift kit. Well, I should already say that I chose not to, and we went ahead and did the Super Springs. I'm so excited, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and explain what I decided to do for all the extra weight with the subwoofers, amplifiers, batteries, steel cage, and wood. Those are the 5 biggest things that are gonna take up space and weight in this build, so we went with the SSA12s from SuperSprings. So that will help with 2,600 pounds of leveling. So say if we weigh her down with the battery bank way on the lip back there toward the rear, it's gonna sag a little bit, but this will bring us back up to normal ride height. And then to help us with all the bumping and jumping going across country, we have got these SSR-210-47s. They're essentially helper bags like we had in Frankenstein, but there's no air. It's basically set it and forget it, squish it and love it. It's a little more than I thought because I have to piece 2 kits together because the black bags are less weight rated. I wanted the yellow bags with the same bracket for the Nissan NV. And I think it should keep it level. And then the front, we got these cool little things. CSS1168. It's a rubber insert that go inside your coil springs, but not the whole thing, and just improves the ride when you're loaded up. So I'm gonna stick those inside the springs and stick these underneath the factory bump stops. It's a Timbren SES, the really hard chunk of rubber with a hollow core, so it acts as like almost a progressive spring. We're gonna be able to load this thing up to the hill. Thank you so much for all the great feedback you left on the video. And that is what we have been doing with Frankenstein. Oh my God, did I just say Frankenstein? Oh, that's a slip up if I ever heard one. It is the behemoth build. It's something, I don't know, I really wanted to name this build something that rolls off the tongue really nicely and smoothly, but I've been kind of forcing that whole behemoth build and I don't know if it's gonna stick. But speaking of that, we have got more progress up back, stripped out all the superfluous parts that I'm not gonna need. Let's go ahead and bring you guys through some of the things that I did out here in the driveway. So like I just said, the first part of this whole process was to target areas of the truck that had things that I really didn't need. So we took a step back and just took a look at everything and started piecing together all the areas that we were gonna remove. That little rear panel located up back, which kind of holds the liner of the floor in, that would get us a little bit of extra room to start pulling things out. Not only does this clear up like 1.5 inches of space, it will take away some of that weight. That rubber lining's actually pretty heavy, along with that insulative material on the bottom to kind of cut down on some of that road noise, but we don't need it. We're gonna be doing a huge cage right on top of that with PL 8X and 3X up the yin-yang, so that alone will act as insulation and deadener. We've got the carpet all out of here. Since we wanna go metal to material, we don't want any of that buffer zone taking up this much space and ruining the bottom platform for us, so there we go. Now we are gonna take care of these things. They're cool looking, but they're useless and they're flimsy, so we're gonna be building out to really make it strong, and this is just a joke. So let's peel these off, but before I do it, I need to look up how to remove those clips because I'm notorious for just breaking them apart. So we're gonna remove them safely and securely. Try not to break anything because we wanna try to recycle all these things. Because the resale value on these things is through the roof, and I guarantee there's somebody looking for a damaged piece to be replaced in their own right. Actually, it's really not too bad with this tool right here. Just stick it right in the center, wiggle it around a little bit, and she comes right out. Check that out. That's the type of clip for me. I'm sick and tired of always breaking the other type. I like this. And as if things couldn't get any crazier, while we were removing those rear panels, we found ourselves a nice little secret spot for some 6x9s. Oh, call off the build, right? That's all we need for pure satisfaction. That would be hilarious, right? If we could settle for just some random 6x9s and some pre-cut cavities back there. But in all seriousness, those holes will help us stick our hands in there, spray some foam or other deadening materials like from Second Skin, just to make sure the beast doesn't rattle down to the ground on us. And another part of the truck that we're not gonna need are these tie-in loops. There's like 6 of them located all the way from the front to the back. So in order to make the floor nice and flat, we're gonna go ahead and remove every single one of them. Time to move on to the little smaller odds and ends located around the vehicle that we just won't need, like those big handles coming right into the view of my awesome amp rack for one. After all, it's just taking up space in a very important spot right up here where the amplifiers are gonna be. And I know what some people may be thinking, oh my God, EXO, why are you taking out some of these things that may be important down the road? But to be honest with you, I've done a lot of thinking, and I know for a fact once we lay down all that steel on top of this surface, there's no going back. And yes, that does mean taking out the factory jack as well as the factory spare tire. I'm really not gonna need that because I'm going aftermarket, baby. Plus, I would like to kind of reduce that weight since the spare tire hangs off at the rearmost part of the vehicle. If I take that off, I can install a couple more amplifiers that weigh the same amount. Heck yeah, we're doing pretty good so far with all this superfluous stuff. You got a whole bunch of brackets and odds and ends that we ended up not even needing, not even close to needing. So this is some shedding some weight and saving some space. She is empty and ready for activities. Yes, that's a Step Brothers reference that I used last time. I'm sure that I'm gonna get a lot of comments from people saying this or that, but either way, I know what I'm doing, I know what I want, and we're going full steam ahead. Come inside the garage, switch into the subwoofers. You know, SOUNDSTREAM coated their XXXs with this textured black coating. It's not exactly powder coated, it may be, but it doesn't really feel the strongest because you can literally take your fingernail and start chipping this off. Those subs are gonna get revamped, revived to a whole new color scheme, purple/black with metallic flakes to get that color changing effect. Is really, really, really nice. I think it would look great and match other areas of the build that I plan on doing. So let's go ahead and hop in the garage and show you guys real quick taking apart one of these frames. Here we got our good old XXXs from way back in the day, still looking beautiful. And I've already removed 2 of these bolts because, like I said, I was helping out somebody on Facebook last night and showed them how to remove these. I'll link the post in the description. So essentially, I use the magnetism of the woofer to hold my heat gun in place. And then I take my screwdriver here and I apply constant pressure. I'll zoom into that piece so we can see it kind of budge once we get it. She's definitely spinning now. Oh yeah. And that's how I remove my hardware. Simple as that. I'm gonna turn off the heat gun now. I am actually going to upgrade these bolts to some hex heads, just in case the Phillips ever wants to strip out. What do you think? Should I go like all white, or should I do that purple and sparkly idea? I think all white would still look good. Hey, that was a nice quick one. I think all white would look really good. This is number 253 out of probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000. Man, this one sure has a lot of glue on it. Ugh. My goodness, there she goes. And I'm probably gonna add some lock washers on the top of this, as well as some Loctite. And there's the last one. Now here's the moment of truth. We'll see if SOUNDSTREAM added anything to the bottoms of these baskets where it meets the motor. We may need to take a rubber mallet. She must have a little bead on there, so let's take our dead blow and just blow it off. There she is. Yay, yay. Oh my goodness, look at this heavy chunk. Look at it. This is a big motor. No wonder why people still covet these things. Here is the frame that we just took off. It's still all dirty, but just imagine, you know, some sandless blasting coming in here, make her all brand new and fresh metal. This is a really strong basket. And does it look familiar? There's a similar design that is well known and that is available right now that is basically this same basket. If you can guess that in the comments, I will roll into some more bonuses to send you something fun your way. giveaway. So it's a little trivia question. What basket does this emulate the most nowadays? It's a pretty common sub, so hopefully we'll get some good answers. Let's push this down to the back and bring the motor up front and end this video off real good. Here she is. This is the power monster. This is what makes everything possible, man. You can see a couple little spots where there's like surface corrosion. That's really not that bad, but I do have this compound that will be able to buff all of that out. But let's check the bottom and see how they're faring. They're usually getting the brunt of all the scratches. Ah, yeah, see, that's not good. When you put them down on surfaces and, you know, they get a little scratched up, that's where the rust comes from, because that plating gets taken down a little bit and then all of a sudden you're down to bare metal and it's humid outside. There's only two things that happen after that, and that is surface rust and sadness. So we have got some great updates today, brand new colors, brand new suspension parts, and just all bunch of smiles today. So we are gonna continue working hard. Thank you guys for watching, checking out Showtime Electronics to get yourself in the door with your own car audio stuff and help support the channel here. So until the next video, I will talk to you then. This is EXO signing out. I have got a lot of work cut out for me today. Talk to you in the next one.